Daniel, can you talk to us about one of the cases that I like to say are ones that cause you to go Mach 2 with your hair on fire? The ones that we aren't looking to do long-term planning for. These families come to us and they have an immediate need to solve a problem to protect their legacy because they're in a crisis.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we call it, crisis planning. Really, with what we do, there are two types of people that come to us. There's people who want to plan ahead to make sure that bad things don't happen to them, make sure their assets stay intact regardless of the circumstances for the rest of their lives. And then there are people that come to us in an emergency situation. I think the last one we worked with wasn't even in our state, was it? That one was actually out of Minnesota. It was a woman who had watched one of our classes, one of our webinars in Minnesota, and her husband had a serious health event and didn't know how it was going to turn out, but there was a strong possibility that he would need ongoing care for the rest of his life. And aside from their home, which we were able to take care of by partnering with an attorney in Minnesota, there were $300,000 that she desperately needed, because if he passes away or goes into care, his pension's gone and she doesn't have one. So that $300,000 was her survival for the rest of her life. So the way that we were able to get creative and shelter or protect that $300,000, for lack of a better term, was just a keen understanding of the rules and laws of healthcare benefits and the spend down. And by working with that attorney in Minnesota, I was able to position her in such a way that she could claim an exemption legally for half of that $300,000. They couldn't force her to spend that on his care. And then with the remaining other half, we were able to position it so immediately, if something happened that he did need care, we could turn it from an asset that by law has to go and be spent down to pay for his care into her individual income, which by law cannot be spent on his care. So by setting things up in a very specific way in conjunction with an attorney, we're able to design the individual investments so that come what may with his health, she was never going to be at any jeopardy of losing one penny of that $300,000 that would determine her very survival if something happened to him.
So Daniel, would you say that's why it's so very important to have a fully integrated professional network?
Yeah, it's exactly why it's so important, and it's why I've built Stidham Financial with you the way that we have, because I got tired of having to cross my fingers and hope for the best for the first few years of my career without having all of these different professionals working on your case together, coming up with a cohesive plan. I compare it to not having your doctors talk to each other and leaving it up to you to decide which doctors you need without having any medical training. It just doesn't work. The traditional approach to planning has failed time and time again for decades, and I think we found a heck of a way to put a stop to that.